But I take you now to Tripoli, and we're showing pro-Gaddafi video right now from Libyan television that's up for a time, and it gets bombed routinely, but they get it back up. The phones go out routinely. And in this footage, you can, at one point, see Webster Tarpley. In fact, maybe we'll pause it when it gets to the part where you can see Webster there. There's maybe Yemenis TV broadcasting. Oh, this is live. This is live footage right now. Jaron saying he saw Tarpley earlier on the footage. Webster Tarpley, you are now joining us. Very brave to be there. Now nearing your second week in Libya, or about to end the first week. Webster, welcome.
Thank you very much, Alec.
These are gigantic crowds. It looks like, as a cursory view, 200,000 or more. How many people is that?
I think that's probably about right. It's in the hundreds of thousands. And the thing is, I'm here above Green Square. This is a vantage point at the edge of the old city of Tripoli, which goes back to the Roman Empire. So I'm up here with the press corps. We came on the press bus today, and there are easily tens of thousands right in this packed area right below us, where they're really having quite a time. They're chanting and dancing, and they're shooting off Kalashnikovs, Alex. Every now and then you hear a ripple of machine gun fire.
They're such slaves that they have 200,000 or looks like more people firing automatic weapons in the air. Can you imagine land of the free, home of the brave, what the government would do if 200,000 people tried to gather with Kalashnikovs in the capital? What would happen?
I don't know, but here it's also women, right? The demand for Kalashnikovs among women here is monumental. But let me just give you an idea of the setting. We're about 2 hours from the Mediterranean sunset, and the reason they have these demonstrations late in the day is what I'm feeling right now. The sun is still very strong, right? We're basically on the northern edge of the Sahara Desert. The Mediterranean is about half a mile away. So we're right here by this basin in the port of Tripoli. Right across from me is a building that goes back ultimately to about the 5th century A.D. It's Marcus Decimus Aurelius, one of the later Roman emperors, built this palace, and he built the walls to the old city. And then beyond that, you can see the minarets of the interior of the old city. Those came later, of course. Those came in the 700s and the 800s. And the place is packed, and it's green. It's a sea of green. They have got these green stripes, right, about 6 feet wide. And every tribe is competing with every other tribe to see who can have the longest one. And some of them say mine is 4 kilometers long, and the other one says that's nothing. We've got 10 kilometers over here. So that's going on. We got above me, there are these floodlights, right, like at a ballpark. And there are people climbing up on these things with great danger to life and limb.
Can you imagine if U.S. troops go into that city?
I think that would be rivers of blood. And once again, these were people who put up with a million dead under the Italian colonialism. They're the first people in the world to have poison gas used on them. That didn't stop them, and ultimately the Italians built what amounts to it's something like a primitive version of the Berlin Wall or the inner German border in the Cold War, except this was all along the border between Libya and Egypt to keep the British from smuggling in support for the rebels. So there's chanting. Now, the chant, it's actually a very good-humored crowd. You see some pro-Syrian flags. There's a solidarity with Syria operation. There are some other flags down there, and the big guy that they hate is Sarkozy. Man, down, down, Sarkozy, down, down, Sarkozy. That's the order of the day. And there was already sort of spontaneous jubilation yesterday when Sarkozy got himself yanked by this guy when he was working a rope line. Some guy grabbed him by the jacket and just about threw him down. And apparently that guy, whoever he is, says that had to do with Libya. Well, we know what that stuff is worth. But still, here it's welcome, because out of all of these figures, Sarkozy is undoubtedly the most hated. So he is the #1 villain.
Do we know why Sarkozy, who admittedly was financed with some Libyan money and making deals with Muammar Gaddafi, why Sarkozy is trying to double-cross Gaddafi?
Well, because you got to remember who Sarkozy is, right? I think there's some. There may be a sign down there that says something about Sarkozy's ancestry. He is the bastard son of the CIA, in the sense that Sarkozy's mother, I guess his biological mother, remarried, and the guy who became the stepfather to Sarkozy is Wisner. I think Frank Wisner. I don't know what number, or Junior. But this is a celebrated family of the State Department and above all the CIA. So
sure, Sarkozy's not even from France, for folks that don't know that.
I think more Hungarian to begin with.
Yes.
But the big influence, the household that he grew up in was the CIA household. So now we've got a puppet president of France, and it's just amazing. The woman who was put in as the new head of the IMF, right, this Lagarde. I've heard some stories about Lagarde now from some French people who are here, Thierry Maison, among others. And the idea is Lagarde, as a French minister, Treasury secretary, she put out an order that it was forbidden to speak French in that ministry. She said everything has to be done in English, everything has to be written in English. Don't come to me and talk to me in French. I want to hear it in English.
She's an Anglophile.
I guess so. That's putting it mildly. She's off the deep end on that stuff. Now there's a crescendo of oratory and cheering in the background that you may hear, and I see another guy up on this.
No, you're reporting. We've got the video up for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers.
Okay, wonderful.
Live, but let me stop you because I want to cover 2 points with you here. Because I know you're not getting a lot of news while you're over there under the bombardment. Russian envoy, NATO preparing Libyan ground invasion, Infowars.com. This is part of RIA, the main TV in Russia. Dmitry Rogozin told RIA Novostat on Friday that NATO is probably preparing a ground invasion to overthrow the Gaddafi regime in Libya. He is Russia's NATO envoy. I think that now we are witnessing the preparation stage for a ground invasion, which NATO and at least some of its members are going to begin. And then that we go into The Guardian. In our past reports, we broke this, of course, 3 weeks ago from our intel sources. First Cav under 3 Corps out of Fort Hood and others. Just that contingent, at least 15,000 with another 15,000 support troops, 30,000 there. The Marine Corps commander out of one base 2 months ago said, yes, we're leaving to go to Libya.
I'm on the radio.
So Tarpley, what do you make of the fact that Russia is now saying that they've got intel, the green light is rolling forward? I mean, this is madness.
I think it's widely known. I was just on Russia Today via Moscow a couple of hours ago, and that should be up at the Tarpley.net before too long, I hope. And the main idea was that Lavrov, also the foreign minister, had said something similar. So we got all the main Russian representatives in the world really putting out that line. So they obviously see something coming, and that puts the ball in our court. I saw today some analyses of that vote in the House of Representatives from last week, which indicate that there are already enough votes in the House to cut off the money and stop the war, at least from the House of Representatives' point of view. Sto facendo il commentario per la radio per la malora. That I've got sorry, I just got interrupted here. I think I may be the only person doing a live feed.
No, I understand, Lord Tarpley. Please continue.
So, the thing is, it's coming, right? So the House of Representatives, you've already got enough votes. All you need is a clean bill that says no more funding, no more killing, no more war, and nothing is approved, and not even retrospectively. Because when you look at that, the bill put in by Congressman Rooney last week, which was presented as the one cutting off the funds, which lost by about 30 votes, that could have had 70 more anti-war Democrats voting for it, but it was a some people said it was approving Obama through the back door because it said no killing, but everything else is fine. Well, if all the logistics and everything else, up to killing, but not including killing is fine. And what Obama has done is approved. And a lot of people just don't want to vote for that. So, again...
Well, we know Webster, we know the propaganda because they always beta test it up front. 3 months ago, or 3 months and a week ago, when they did the UN resolution that the servile President Obama followed and told Congress, go fly a kite, go jump in the lake, go jump off a cliff, they said we may need ground support troops and that they're going to, quote, create a humanitarian corridor into Tripoli. And so they're going to roll up in tanks and say, if you don't let us occupy, if you shoot at us, then you're engaged in terrorism. So the new psychology is we're invading, bombing you from the air. The U.S. tanks are going to roll in, and then if you don't let them roll in and take over, you're a terrorist. So this is the new Orwellian type idea we have.
Lots of luck with that one. There were enough Kalashnikovs that I can see right down here in the square to put up a fairly significant resistance. And as I look out towards the Mediterranean, out over the sort of the key or the K of the old port, you have these columns that were put up, the twin victory columns, and these refer to the USS Philadelphia, which came here during that Barbary pirate stuff, right? The shores of Tripoli, this is it. And that boat fared very poorly there. I've been taken to see now the graves of the poor guys who got killed in that one. So the whole history about this place is don't do it. They are very well armed, and so this is a very good nature.
Well, Webster, I'm looking at this crowd. It looks like a lot more in a wide shot than 200,000. I would estimate that crowd at above 500,000 conservatively.
It may well be, because from where I am, I can't really see out here beyond this the Roman fort and then these two pillars, and if I look out over the ocean, I've got some...
well, Webster, here's the other issue. Saddam was a dictator, a U.S. installed dictator on record in '79, but because I don't support Saddam, I'm an American. I'm supposed to support him when they say support him and then hate him when they say hate him. But Saddam would only have little tribal folks in Tikrit and other areas that he trusted, a few thousand with guns, to show he had the support of the people. A lot of Iraqis didn't like him, obviously, and I don't blame them. But this looks like 500,000 or more people out there waving guns around. I mean, my gosh, the CIA watching this right now, and they're watching it, that looks like more than 500,000. They've got to know that looks like total resistance right there. And holy mackerel, I mean, that is a tribal group stirred up like a bunch of bees. Well, let's talk about what this ground invasion is going to look like on the other side. It's like we're living in a surreal world. You're over in Libya, hundreds, it looks like 500,000 in the streets with guns, ready for war. We're being told this is peace, and we're calmly talking about another U.S. invasion with the president saying it's not war. I mean, this is insanity.
It is absolutely Orwellian. Let me just fill you in on what's been going on. I tell you, the oratory is coming hot and heavy. You just missed another burst of Kalashnikov fire. And as far as I can see, the etiquette around here is if you want to go out in the afternoon, you might take your Kalashnikov, but you don't want to be overdressed. But you might want to take your RPG out in the evening. So, again, with the tribal structure and the tradition and the very fierce independence, it's the last place in the world anybody in their right mind would want to invade. And on the other side, in spite of all this, it's a very good-natured crowd, right? This is like it's a holiday. It's a happy crowd, right? They're polemic, right? A lot of great gusto in the chanting, Sarkozy taking it really hard, but at the same time, not animus against foreigners, right? There's no, people punching you or whatever you think you might expect. So it's absolutely surreal because the people that you find here are westernized in the sense that they want modern civilization, they want science, technology, industry, social progress, a rising standard of living. There are a whole lot of cars, and a lot of the people, look, more Kalashnikovs.
Tarpley, I'm looking at this. That looks almost like 1 million people.
It may well be.
This is because I mean, there's so many people they can't even pull the camera far enough back. Now, Webster, we're about to go to break, but you probably don't know about Dominique Strauss-Kahn. It just broke. New York prosecutors are saying the woman's lied about most of her story. And there's talk of the case being dropped. And of course, everybody knows that Sarkozy's chief of staff released that Khan was going to be arrested before it was even in the news. And they admitted they had spies on him. What do you think's happening with Khan, who was set to run against Sarkozy?
Well, I don't know. It is a little bit puzzling, right, to see what's happening. But as soon as Madame Lagarde, the Anglophile agent, was installed in her new post, then they let this whole thing fall to pieces. It's kind of what they do with congressmen. Congressmen are often, the prosecutor will leak a whole lot of stuff during a campaign.
Yeah, they halfway burn them, and then the case falls through, but the change is already made. You were finishing up. For those that don't know, you're in the middle of that demonstration. Strauss-Kahn seems seen as near collapse. New York Times, maid who accused DSK of sexual assault repeatedly lied. The police are saying. Next question on Strauss-Kahn, was he set up? I mean, it's admitted that Sarkozy's Karl Rove, political strategist, released a Twitter before he was even arrested, before it was even in the news, and they later said, yeah, we had spies on Khan, and clearly this is because Khan was going to run against Sarkozy and win. What other comments do you have, Tarpley?
It's just a typical U.S. prosecutorial method. Remember Congressman Weldon of Pennsylvania delved into things, and he got attacked by a prosecutor. Then I don't believe there ever was an indictment at the trial. One congressman from New Jersey, right after 9/11, the senator, his name is escaping me now, but he wanted to have an immediate inquiry, and they simply put out a bunch of slanders about him, and he never got a trial. But listen, we got another crescendo of Kalashnikovs in the background. I have here one of your fans from Libya wants to say hello. Would that be all right?
Yes, your phone's a little overdriving. Go ahead.
Here we go. Wow. Yeah, hello.
Hello, who is this?
I'm Ashraf. How are you?
Good.
John?
I'm good. Tell us what's going on in Libya.
Yeah, what's going on right now? I wish you are here with us to see. It's a very, very, very good view. I'm here with your friend right now, and we wish that you are with us over here. So I hope from you to come over here and do some program, and I will let you have some shooting with my Kalashnikov. Yeah, I will give you any kind of weapon. Just come over here and try any kind of weapon. So you have to come over here. Then do a very, very good program over here, and you will have a lot of guns here. Not only from me, from everyone you will see.
Well, so sir, I want to apologize.
We love to see you over here. We love to see you over here, and we love to see your program over here. So,
well, thank you, sir. You know, I want to apologize that America's been seized by megabanks, and they're using us, along with Europe, to do this to your country. But what is going to happen if NATO invades?
If he invades to come inside our country.
Please repeat that, sir.
You mean by invade that he will come inside our country inside?
Yeah, yes, if NATO invades you.
He will be in a very, very big problem with us over here. He will never could stand only for one day. I don't think he will go after to the next day. Only one day we will finish him over here.
Well, I certainly hope for your people and our people this doesn't happen. You guys seem really positive and cheerful. You know, a lot of folks in the West would probably be wetting themselves if the empire was about to invade.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Well, no, it sounds like you have a lot of courage and you're hoping for peace, but you're ready for war.
No, we want the peace, but if they don't want to stop, because they are the one who's not giving us our peace, so if they don't want to stop, then let them come down and let's fight together. We can bring our own peace if they stop. We can discuss our own problem. We don't need the NATO. The NATO is, they are saying that they are protecting the civilians.
All right, well, sir, we're out of time, but thank you. Hopefully we'll get more reports from you there in Libya. Thank Dr. Tarpley.